Fishy Tales. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the podcast of The Ordinary Maverick. This is Ajay, your host, an ordinary maverick, sharing real life thoughts and experiences and maverick tips. In today's podcast, I'm speaking about one of my favorite topics, fishes. Yes, there's a fascination with fishes, and that extends to fish tanks. For some reason, ever since I can remember, I loved seeing fish swim, gazing at fish tanks for many moments turning into hours. There's just something so calming, meditative, and just relaxing looking at fish swim. Here's some fish or rather aquarium related trivia. Although French-born naturalist Jean Villepreux Power invented the first recognizable glass aquarium in 1832. It was in the works of British naturalist Philip Gosset, however, that the term first took on its modern meaning as a vessel in which aquatic animals as well as plants can be held. An aquarist is a person who owns fish or maintains an aquarium, typically constructed of glass or high-strength acrylic material. There are many advantages of fish keeping. It's correlated with reduced blood pressure and decreased stress levels. Watching fish can also produce relaxation benefits to those who suffer from anxiety and can also work to calm children with hyperactivity disorder. There is even some research to show that aquariums can improve the unpredictable and disruptive behavior of those affected by Alzheimer's disease. Overall, a fish tank's calming effect on all who view it are extremely beneficial and can even aid over time in getting a better night's sleep. Okay, here's another word, aquascaping. Heard of it? It's the craft of arranging and designing underwater spaces and even challenging the definition of what a fish tank design can be. You know how they say, think out of the box? Well, here it is more like think out of the fish tank. More and more one sees different types of aquascaping, like you have, something like landscaping. There are hundreds of thousands of aquaria in the world today, and I'm sure we have all visited some aquariums at some point in our lives. However, one of the aquariums my family visited stands out in its design and concept. Our girls were small at the time, and I must say, aquariums are a great way to teach children about caring for our planet. Well, the Tennessee Aquarium in Chattanooga in the US always brings back fond memories. It's set up in two parts, the river journey and the ocean journey. At the time this was constructed, it was the largest freshwater aquarium in the world. It is organized around the theme of the story of the river and is truly one of the most fascinating journeys to experience. The 12 floors high river journey starts from the top, and as one moves downward, one tracks the path of a raindrop from the high in the Appalachian Mountains, and then finally the river finds its way to the ocean through the Gulf of Mexico. Speaking of aquariums and going underwater brings back memories of the time in Barbados when my wife and I went down in a submarine deep into the ocean bed and explored an old sunken ship. I still remember the pitch black, the darkness as we went down. And then as we all had our eyes glued to the submarine window, the captain switched on the lights. There were collective gasps. The entire ocean floor was illuminated and it was magical, just like being inside an aquarium. I will never ever forget that moment. There's a certain element of adventure, of the unknown, as one explores the underwater treasures. And that is so reflective of the maverick spirit. Maybe that's why I have this fascination with the underwater world, the world of fishes, and of aquarium. So much was the fascination that I built one from scratch after due research of the filtration system, oxygenation, etc. It was a 4 feet by 3 feet tank, populated it with guppies, black and red mollies, and goldfishes. It was made before my elder one was born, and it remained in our home for many years until during one of our transcontinental moves, I gifted it to another aquarium, or shall I say fish fan. I'm sure it's still giving pleasure wherever it is. One of the goldfish lived for about 5 years, and when my daughter started speaking at 2, we named this one Johnny. Johnny's death was a traumatic experience for my daughter, who I could see felt the pain of losing someone whom she loved. Losing a near and dear one, and how to deal with it, I will leave it for another of my podcasts. Now, coming back to aquariums in today's digital world, do you know we have virtual aquariums? Yes, it's a computer program which uses 3D graphics to reproduce an aquarium on a personal computer. The swimming fishes are rendered in real time, while the background of the tank is usually static. Objects on the floor may be mapped in simple planes so that the fish may appear to swim both in front and behind them. But a relatively simple 3D map of the general shape of such objects may be used to allow the light and ripples on the surface of the water to cast real shadows. Bubbles and water noises are common for virtual aquariums, which are often used as screensaver. The number of each type of fish can usually be selected, often including other animals like jellyfish, seahorses, and even sea turtles. Most companies that produce virtual aquarium software also offer other types of fish for sale via the internet downloads. Can you believe that? Other objects found in an aquarium can also be added and rearranged in some softwares, like treasure chests and giant clams that open and close with air bubbles, or a bobbling diver. There are also usually features that allow the user to tap on the glass or put food on top, both of which the fish will react to. We are entering into a virtual world, one which has fast become a reality given the pandemic in 2020 and all the changing realities that we are still adapting to. Speaking of fishes and the underwater world brings an interesting thought to my mind. We have observed and know that fish move in groups or schools as the term goes. It's fascinating to watch schools of fish all swimming together in one direction, looking beautiful. But have you noticed that the same breed of fishes always, and I mean always, swim together in the same school? There's a natural tendency to gravitate toward one's own school and then travel the ocean together. With each one playing a role, there's a synchrony in their movements. And the leader, the front line, middle and the end lines, including at the very end, all play a role in keeping that particular school of fish moving. This is a key concept in our lives too. Here is where our maverick formula of going with your gut comes in. You know, when you meet someone for the first time or look around in your family, your extended group of colleagues, you will find that many a times there's an instant connect, something that draws two people together. And if you're mindful and listen to your gut and be true, then the magic of that connection continues to take you forward, just like the school of fish. When like-minded people come together, when we move together, we can move mountains. So it's critical that we find our school. That's where we belong and where we perform our best. Whether it's a new job, a new hobby, a new place, or city to live in, go out there and find your school. Listen to your gut and be true. And for sure, the connections you will make will sail you through any challenges in the new setting. As I mentioned earlier, we have moved just 3 weeks back across continents, across cities. And that's exactly what we are doing. Finding our school. So let me end by saying to all fellow mavericks and fish and aquarium fans, go spend some time in front of your aquarium. Relax, watch the fish and be in the moment. And to those who don't have an aquarium but are still fans, well, explore the virtual one. Okay? Write in your comments, share your feedback. I would love to hear from you. And for some more maverick tips, do subscribe to the Ordinary Maverick podcast. This is Ajay signing off, wishing you have an amazing day. Keep well, keep safe.